Food is already getting really expensive to buy. So what if it became harder to get? I'm going to lay out in 6 phases how we can prepare ourselves for food scarcity or extreme inflation in which we can't even afford food anymore, okay? This is a plan for that any household, no matter where you live, no matter how big of a home or little home you have, you can be prepared with these phases. Hey friend, Morgan here. Let's get started with phase 1. Phase 1 is inventory, and you're going to break out your Rogue Preparedness emergency binder. You're going to flip to that inventory there, and you're going to start taking inventory of everything you already have, okay? So the great thing about taking inventory is that you physically see, okay, I have a bunch of fruit, but I have 0 meat. Or like I have a ton of MREs, which I hate, right? But I have 0 canned foods, or whatever the case may be, right? And you're going to look at the expiration dates and you're going to see these things. You're going to say, you know what? I'm not eating very much of this. So let me stock up more on other things that we are eating, that kind of thing. So having a physical inventory right in front of you is so important. And it's going to tell you the gaps. So it's going to tell you those gaps, and then you're going to fill those gaps with what you actually want to eat. And I do recommend ready-to-eat foods. Canned foods are extremely nutritious. People don't realize how nutritious canned foods are. But you know, if you want freeze-dried food, that's totally fine. You can dehydrate your own food, can your own food, freeze-dry your own food, whatever you want, right? You can also get canned meats and peanut butters, and everything in your pantry and in your home is ready to eat during an emergency or disaster, okay? You don't have to have food that lasts 25 gazillion years, just food that can get you through that emergency or disaster, and you're rotating it, right, because you're eating it. So you don't have to go straight to bulk food. You can go to the food that you eat every day from the grocery store that you patron every day or every week or every month or whatever. Phase 2 is removing the stress. So build the 3-day, which I'm going to show you right here. Because I'm a prepper, I got way more food than I thought I would need. And so this is what I've divided out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Once you have that 3 days of food, whether it's just the canned food that I showed you or whatever it is, right? It's rice and beans, whatever you like, okay? Then slowly build up to 2 weeks. If your family's not going to eat it now, don't force them to eat it during a really stressful emergency or disaster, okay? All right, I just went on and on about how you shouldn't be storing rice and beans, but I never said you shouldn't. I said in the first 2 phases, you should be focusing on easy to store foods that you really don't have to think too much about. And then the next are going to be the pasta and rice and beans and things that you do enjoy. So like if you don't like black beans, don't get black beans. You don't like pinto beans, don't get pinto beans. Get the white beans that you like. And if you don't like beans, get lentils. And if you don't like lentils like me, then just stick to the rice and the pasta. This is good calories, okay? Other things would be like flour and potatoes, like the instant or dehydrated or freeze-dried potatoes. These are really good high-calorie things that you can mix with like so many other things. And yeah, these are long-term foods that you can store in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, and they'll be good for a while. Phase 4 is the invisible foods. What are invisible foods, you may be asking? Spices. Okay, everybody forgets about spices. Salt. There have been wars waged on salt. So yeah, I mean, just stock up on salt. It's pretty easy to do it. So anyway, yeah, garlic, onion powder, all the spices, okay? And I'm also going to include cinnamon in that because I use cinnamon in my coffee every day, and cinnamon I put in like literally everything, and it is delicious and it's good for you. It can help lower your blood sugar. Cinnamon is great. Talking about cooking beans and rice over here, throw some salt and pepper in there. It'll make your life a little nicer. In the beginning phases, we were talking about foods that are ready to eat, right? You don't have to cook very much. But now in phase 4, we've introduced foods that you have to cook, that you like have to cook if you want to eat it. Well, okay, I mean, you could probably eat pasta without cooking it. It's very crunchy and delicious, but not great. So in phase 5, you want to start investing in ways to cook without electricity, right? If you have an electric stove, even if you have a gas or propane stove in your home or wood fired or whatever, I would highly recommend having a few extra alternatives, such as these options here, like a hobo stove, a rocket stove, a Coleman stove, an alcohol stove. There's lots of things that you can make yourself, like the hobo stove and the rocket stove. You can purchase it. You can just make a fire, like in a fire pit in your backyard, right? Like you can cook lots of different ways, okay, without electricity or gas or propane or whatever. Source the ways to cook as well as the fuel sources to go along with them. And then test it out. Don't forget to test it out. And phase 6 is storing them smartly, okay? I don't know if that was a great sentence, but it's just, storing smarter. So like, I love these metal shelves. As you can see, I store a ton of food on it, a ton. All of this down here is 3 days worth of supplies, and it's not even to the top, and it's not even filled this whole shelf, right? There's whole shelf. And it's just this little tiny bit that I dedicated to 3 days worth of meals for me and my family of 5. Okay, that's it. And then the rest of this can be filled. This whole thing could be filled with like 30 days worth of food. Of course, you need water still, right? Here's where a lot of people really mess up, because they stock up on a lot of food, okay, but they have no system. You got no system. You'd have no way of knowing, hey, this is the food that's ready to eat, and I'm going to cook it this way. I don't know how to cook beans and rice. I don't know how to do this stuff on my alternative cooking, right? This is where things start getting interesting, because a lot of people just say, stuck up on food, but then there's no system and there's nothing to it. So keep watching, and we're going to get to that, okay? You can also store food in closets. You can make it like a little prepper closet. You can store it under the bed. You can store it in cabinets and just rotate it, okay? Remember, we're stockpiling food that we actually eat. So you're gonna rotate it at some point, okay? And so, you can put it in bins and make it into like little tables. I've done that before. It's great. It works great. I recently just got this shelving system, and I'm just ecstatic over it, okay? Because these bins have been all over the place. It was a terrible nightmare of grossness looking in there. And now I got these bin storage system, and it's been beautiful. It's been just beautiful. And I bet you're probably thinking, why didn't she talk about water? Well, I am, because you can't have rice and beans and pasta and these things that take water without water, okay? And not only that, you cannot survive 3 days without water, let alone 3 weeks, right? So we want to stock up on water right alongside food. Whenever you buy food, get an extra gallon or 2 of water, get a case of bottles of water, fill up water containers, get a rain storage collection system going, whatever, okay? Just stock up on water the very best that you can. It's the same with the food. Just stock up the very best that you can. Nobody's saying that you have to have 10 years worth of food and water on hand, but something is better than absolutely nothing. Because food scarcity means limited options, higher prices, and empty shelves at the absolute worst times. And not only do you not want to be without food and water, I don't want you to be without food and water, friend, okay? I want you to be prepared. Not only that, though, I don't want you to be in the chaos of people that are unprepared, okay? And I want you to also be able to help your family and your neighbors and anybody else that might need it. So if that's in your plan, then stockpile that extra food and water for those people as well. But if it's not, that's okay too. I was just bringing it up that I don't want you out there in the chaos. In this case, you're preparing for delays and shortages and price hikes. In fact, there have been times where we've eaten nothing but our food storage because we had a job loss or we were moving and I didn't want to buy any more food, right? The plan is to just keep you ahead. And it's not having you react to the situation. It's having you be prepared. And I'm curious, do you have a particular food that you rely on right now that would be really hard to source if stores ran low? For me, it's coffee. So I stock up on a lot of coffee. I can't grow coffee. Coffee is imported. Coffee is getting more expensive. It's getting harder, not harder to find, but tons of people are consuming it. So for me, it's coffee, and I do stock up on a lot of coffee. But, most of us don't grow all of our food or have, super local access to a ton to food ton of food, any food. I do want to give you just one last little piece of advice. Look for your local farms, look for your neighbors, start growing a garden, start growing microgreens, start growing sprouts, and get a little hydroponic indoor system going. And really, don't just rely on the grocery store. Look to your local people as well. Start going to farmers markets and find those local people that really grow. Find a CTA, find local beef, farmers and these kinds of things. Find your local people. There are local people everywhere. I've lived in Alaska to Arizona, and there are local people growing local things all over the place. So find your local people. Thank you so much for watching. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. I'll talk to you later. Bye.